You have a general and object code summary, I guess read something like that. And you can see, this is nice to get the overall picture because subs is in there 100 different places. But you can see subs overall, line 5, represents a significant amount of money.
I bring that up because City Council was addressed and asked to look at substitute pay, knowing that that had been previously done and that the fill rates were better this year. I just wanted to impart that to you all since it came through City Council.
Any further discussion or questions about the articles? Mr. Jensen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This might follow along with through the middle school, there was the miscellaneous increase. Same question for the high school. Just wanted to point it out.
Back to transportation. Now, you say you have one vehicle that's not being used at all? Or how many vehicles did you guys purchase?
So we have a number of minibuses on our campus, 2 of which have a seating capacity that falls within the guidelines that are recommended. We're able to use those 2 vehicles because they have limited seats, if you will. So as long as we stay under a certain amount of kids, we're fine. I think the discrepancy with the buses has a couple of different layers to it. One of them being how big is the seat, how many kids could sit there. And if we're putting... Ironically, if we were putting smaller children on these buses, we would probably quickly exceed what the expected capacity is, as some people read the guideline. And if we put high school students in there, that's the question. So if you put the 3 of us in a seat, we're not going to fit. But if a coach was driving that same bus and there were 3 students or athletes that were much smaller than us, they might fit, and then they might exceed the capacity of the bus as determined by the label on the bus itself. So that's part of that discrepancy with that.
So all those vehicles are actually being used? No. So I guess my question would be...
They may be, but they have to have the CDL driver.
Okay. So have we thought about selling vehicles if we're not utilizing them to get funds for somewhere else?
If I could just jump in here. So this isn't Bobby's top priority, but it's one thing would like to have a fresh set of eyes look at this, because these questions came up all after the purchase, and we've gotten different answers from the state police and local police and our insurance company, but it appears that the determinant is the capacity rating of the vehicle as determined by the manufacturer. So even though you might be able to in a van with a regular license drive, 10 kids, 12 kids, something like that, that if the capacity of the vehicle is listed as 16, then you need the commercial license. And we purchased these, I think it was 5 vehicles, and it was a relatively inexpensive purchase. So we don't want to give up on this until we're 100% sure there's no alternative. And it may well be, and I'm just throwing this out there, maybe we need to hire a bus driver. We contract out, but Hudson is having great difficulty filling their positions, and maybe we hire a bus driver and use that, and during the morning that bus driver is picking up some of our special ed students. I think Pam Emery's got a comment.
One of the vehicles is ours, and so we purchased it for a wheelchair accessibility. So we could only really seat 12 students. However, it is stated that it's a 22-passenger vehicle, so we cannot drive it. We can drive staff around, but we can't drive the children. Hudson has offered to do training for our staff, so I've sent someone to do the training. Unfortunately, she's leaving. So I do have another staff member willing to do that. So at least for our special ed world, our bus will be used.
If I may add, I would also say this is not just a bus concern, it's a capacity piece. So even if we rented a vehicle from, say, Stewart's, who sometimes rents us vehicles to run certain trips, if it's their biggest capacity van, we actually cannot fill it with kids and drive it because it exceeds the driving recommendation.
I know at least for softball and baseball, this maybe with other sports also, if the boys, I know at least last year, the boys were in one vehicle and the girls were in another vehicle going to the same school. Wouldn't it make more sense to put them all in one vehicle with a normal bus driver and go all in one instead of trying to break them all? No, it doesn't make more sense that way.
The cost for that one bus at Hudson compared to me paying nothing for a driver and just the gas bill is a significant difference.
Okay.
Going on two is a huge cost savings for the district.
I'd add that we also have a shortage of drivers, so even if we wanted to book and reserve that vehicle, they're denying our request at this point. The bus companies in the area, they have a shortage of drivers, and so if Jason called tomorrow and said, I need to book 2 buses for a game, they don't have them. We get denied.
Maybe a suggestion is to contact the other schools that have programs for licensure. Maybe we can hire some of those kids that are getting their licenses. Just a thought. Another question by Ms. Parks.
I know that we're contracted as a district with Hudson, but can we hire bus drivers from Northeast or other bus companies? But is that they're short on drivers also?
We can and we have, and yes, my understanding is that Northeast is also short, and we've started contacting a place out of Augusta who has some availability, but it's still limited.
All right, anything else from the board? Open it up to the community? No? Okay, I think we're good. Thank you for your presentation and your time. We appreciate everybody being here this evening. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Jensen.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Jensen, a second by Ms. Hutchinson for adjournment. Those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
No executive